Yo, what's up, guys? Leafs lose 6-3 to the Vegas Golden Knights, guys. Typical Toronto Maple Leafs, guys, In a big game, of course, the Toronto Maple Leafs decide to come out with their worst once again, incredible to me, We obviously knew that this was the most highly anticipated game of the season. Obviously last week we played Marner in Vegas, but it wasn't as big as compared to Marner coming back home to Toronto. We all knew it was a big game. We all knew that these Leaf players are going to downplay it, saying, it's just another game. It's just another game, another night in the NHL, yada, yada, yada. But my God, man, what a pathetic first and third period by the Maple Leafs. Just like a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Just another sign that this hockey team just does not know when to turn it up when it matters most. Regardless if it's just another regular season game, you got your former teammate coming back with his new team. A team that just beat you after coming back 4 times after blowing 2 4-goal leads, last week in Vegas. And that's the type of effort you put in the first and third period. Just pathetic by this hockey team. Once again, you start off the game horrendously. Now, don't even get me started about Anthony Stolarz starting his first game since November 11th. That decision there is one decision I already questioned right off the hop. I don't understand why Craig Berube decides to start Stolarz in this game, out of all games. You could have started him against Buffalo, against Colorado, but you picked tonight against Vegas to start Anthony Stolarz. Honestly, Hildeby Wall could have started tonight. You could have started Hildeby tonight. Maybe give Stolarz a start on Sunday or Monday or whenever Leafs play Sabres. But regardless of that, just an inexcusable start to give up a goal. A minute and a half into a wide open Jack Eichel in the bottom of the corner there. The guy's got 17 goals in 19 games against the Maple Leafs. God almighty, man. That's how you start the hockey game, flat like that and giving up a goal. And then you give up another goal to that jackass Colasar for yanking that guy's jersey, who I applaud dramatically for having a jersey that's a sellout with the number 16 on it. And that jackass pulled it from that person's hands. He scores the second goal of the game off a dumping that Stolarz uses his blocker to stop. And then after he gets the rebound, I don't know why he's able to get in front of the net like that so easily to pot the rebound in. Where's the urgency by this hockey team? Honestly, to go to 2-0 like that the first 5 minutes of the game, in a game of this magnitude, the fans are booing Marner, letting him have it, well-deserved, obviously. And this team comes out and comes out flat the way they did? Are you bloody joking me? That first period was disgusting. 5 shots on net? Are you freaking kidding me? Support Stoley too. It's his first game back, and that's the type of game you play in front of the man. Regardless of that, the game with Marner in general, this is how you perform? Seriously. The Leafs are lucky that this team can get out of hand quickly. Even worse than it did, going down 4-1. Sure, Tavares ties it back up after Nice hits the post in the second period, and John Tavares is able to pot the rebound. Oh, whoop-de-doo. You cut it down to 2-1. Then you give up 2 goals again unanswered like that. You get the Dorofeyev goal after he hits the post, and John Tavares does a horrendous job trying to pass the puck to Nice because he's on one knee. And then Dorofeyev's there to be able to get the rebound and steal it off of them and score a tough shot on Stolarz. What the hell is this team doing in their own end? They are pathetic. Pathetic in their own end. Like headless chickens. I've said it many times. They cannot break out of their own den with pressure on them if their life depended on it. It's incredible to me. And then on the fourth goal, man, it's just inexcusable, man. Morgan Riley. Where's the puck? Where's the puck? Because Morgan Riley's not already an idiot as it is. He has no idea where he is on the ice. The guy's just an idiot. Don't even get me started on him. Okay, to make it 4-1 Vegas. Okay, great. Leafs showed some fighting character. Fantastic. You get a great goal by Lawton off a great pass by Matthew Nice. 2 assists tonight for Matthew Nice. He's been really battling through a bloody injury. I get it. Okay, but still. Lawton, great goal to make it 4-2. Great goal for him, Love Scott Lawton. I cannot believe, though, that Scott Laughton only played like 9 minutes tonight. What the hell is Craig Berube doing? Honestly, after seeing what happened to Craig Berube in the pregame presser with the black eye and the major stitches on his head, he must have got a concussion. Because why is Stolar starting in this game? And why is Scott Laughton only playing 9 minutes? He must have really banged his head hard. You know, he needs another head shake if you ask me to only play Scott Laughton 9 freaking minutes. He needs to play more. Okay, he's one of the only few guys who shows any great determination, some hunger, some passion, some fight. Play Scott Laughton more, honestly. Okay, and then after you get the third goal, great tip by Bobby McMahon. Great tip by him. Great throw in, great dump in there by Domi to throw it in front of the net there. We need to see more of that. We need to see more of that. You know, Domi had a great chance on the power play. He doesn't shoot it on net. You know, it drives me nuts, man. It drives me nuts. It sickens me. You know, how many times the Leafs had chances to come back in this game and they choked it up again. You know, you're 4-3 down, going into the third. You're feeling good about yourselves. You know, you've battled back from 4-1 down, and then you have a flat third like you did. 5 shots on net again, you know? Like, my God, man. This hockey team is just, they have no character to them. They have no life to them. They don't. They honestly don't. To play the way they did in the first and third period, and even though they did find their legs after going down 4-1 and battling back, you need to play 60 minutes of hockey here. The playoffs are going to be out of reach soon. You know, Vegas, the jackasses that they are, you know, lose to Boston last night. You know, second night of a back-to-back. So not only do they screw us by losing to Boston, then they come in here and beat us. So there you go, 4-point swing just like that the Vegas Knights screw us on. Like, incredible to me. Incredible to me. How Vegas, both games we played them, they were playing on a second night of a back-to-back, and they had more effort. They had more energy. They were the ones acknowledging, yeah, you know what, this is a pretty big game. You know, Marner coming back to Toronto. We all know what's that like. We dealt with it when Eichel went back to Buffalo. And the Leafs are like, oh, yeah, it's just another game. Yeah, we got to pretend like it's another game, get 2 points. The Vegas Knights are Stanley Cup champions. They have guys on their team that have won. They know when it's time to step up for a big game, they know when to step up. And the Leafs don't. That is the difference between the Leafs and the Golden Knights. The difference of mentality and perspective. We know we're going to have a massive game tonight for our teammate because we know he's going to get heckled like no tomorrow. And the Leafs, what do? Just another game. You know, let's go out there, boys. Let's try to get 2 points. Try to stay in the race. Like, honestly, man, you got to show more character than that, man. You know, you leave Stoli hanging out to dry for a few goals. You know, especially on that 5th goal. Jake McCabe, dude. You idiot. You have had a couple of bad weeks. And to put that puck, to try to pass it cross ice as hard as he did, it screwed the Leafs. Instead of trying to pass it to Domi around the net, he tries a hard pass cross crease, and then we saw Vegas come in on the 2-on-1, and we saw Mark Stone score a goal. That guy's on a 14-game point streak. He is on fire. Okay, he is a great player. But a back-breaking decision there by Jake McCabe that cost the Leafs royally. Then Mark Stone gets the empty net goal, and that's curtains. You know, like, inexcusable to me, guys. How this hockey team here just shows no bloody urgency. You know, you haven't won a game yet on your homestead. On your 5-game homestead, you haven't won a game after winning 7 straight at home. That Colorado game seems to be more of a detriment now than it was to benefit them. They're 1-3-2 in their last 6 games. That's inexcusable. Like, are you bloody kidding me? Like, come on, man. You are in a playoff race here, and I get Nylander's not playing. I get Tanev's hurt. I get he's not playing either. I get OEL battled through an injury tonight. Thank God he played. I know Knives is dealing with stuff. A lot of these guys are dealing with stuff. The Olympic break can't come soon enough. But it doesn't matter. You can't use that as an excuse. You got to battle and get points. You are going to miss the playoffs for the first time in 10 years if you do not start to play better hockey and start getting points and winning games and showing more of an effort. You know, this game tonight was a massive game for a lot of reasons, not only in the standings, but obviously Marner returning. But you needed to snap this little funk that you were in, and now you are going to try to snap it against the Colorado Avalanche on Sunday afternoon? Good luck with that. Honestly, I said it last video against Detroit. Things are not looking very good right now. Because if you lose to Vegas, you lose the thing on Colorado on Sunday, you lose all 5 games at home. And then after you add the games in Vegas on the road and the Utah game where we said, oh, it's okay, that's fine. Where I said it's okay, that's fine. As long as you beat Vegas. They didn't do that. So now that Utah game is like, holy shit, man. Now it's really becoming a serious issue here. You've lost to Utah. You've lost to Vegas twice. Okay? You lost to Detroit. You lost to Minnesota. Like, you've lost 5 games since you beat Colorado. The only game you had was a comeback win to the Jets that you almost lost as well. So, I don't know where this team goes from here. Because Craig Berube seems to be a little bit dizzy still from the injuries he sustained from today. Who knows what happened to that guy? But he needs to get his head a bloody shake. Maybe play some younger kids like a Quillen. Some kids that are hungry. Maybe sit Easton Cowan when he's even lucky he played tonight after the shit he's been doing the last couple games. He's lucky. Robertson hasn't looked good. Roy hasn't looked good last couple games. Matthews' line looked really good at times in this game. They were the ones driving the comeback. But then in the third period, once again, where were they? Where were they? They disappeared again. This team disappears too much when it matters most. John Tavares again disappeared after the goal. Where are these guys? Where are your leaders? I get Willie's not playing, but you got to win. You got to win. You cannot afford to be dropping points now. You are in serious, serious trouble here. Buffalo's got 61 points. Boston has 60. You are getting into a bit of a gap now here. That you are in serious trouble if you lose to Colorado on Sunday. If you lose to Buffalo on Monday or Tuesday, whenever the hell they play. You need to understand that this team here, guys, they could seriously miss the bloody playoffs. They're just showing too much inconsistency as of late. They haven't been good enough. They just are showing us fans that they can go on a great run of games, but then they'll go right back to what they are, an inconsistent hockey team. And that is a serious problem. Why should Brad Treliving risk the little assets that we have to try to help this team make the playoffs? They're going to get eliminated in the first and second round again anyway. Why does it matter? Because the way this team plays, not only this year, but the last 9 to 10 years, when the effort needs to be there, it's not there. That's simple as that. And now, don't get me started on Marner and that article with Elliotte Friedman. We all know what Mitch Marner is. He's a spoiled brat. He's an ungrateful person. Never appreciated what he had here in Toronto. Always holding grudges because of an entry-level deal, not getting all his money. He's a jackass. I know what he is. Okay? I've never been a fan of Mitch Marner because he never showed this when it mattered most. He cared about what was on the back more than what was on the front. I never was a fan of him. He had some great years here in Toronto, regular seasons, but it isn't good enough. He needs to perform in the playoffs. And we'll see if Vegas will get a taste of that this season because they're going to make the playoffs and they're going to see what Marner's really like in the playoffs. And then we're going to start hearing the Vegas fans bitching, oh, where's Marner? We're paying this guy $12 million a year. I had enough of that guy. I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad this is over with now. Do I wish that the Leafs won both games? Absolutely. That first game pisses me off more because they had multiple 2-goal leads. 4 2-goal leads in that game, and they squandered all 4 of them. Tonight's game pissed me off because you are at home, you had your fans booing the guy, and then you go and do what you do? Inexcusable. And then another thing, another little PSA. Any fan, anyone that you clapped for Mitch Marner, cheered for Mitch Marner, don't call yourself a Leafs fan because you're not. You're a Mitch Marner fan. You don't care about the Leafs. You don't care what that guy did to the franchise. You don't care how he treated the franchise behind the scenes. You guys don't give a shit about the 9 bloody years that we have to endure the garbage of watching this team lose in the playoffs every year. 1 playoff round success. 2, if you count the 2, if you count last year the Ottawa series, okay? That ain't good enough for a guy that wanted the money he wanted. That ain't good enough for a guy who thought he was the franchise guy when he wasn't. You people make me sick that cheered for Mitch Marner tonight during that first commercial, celebrating and clapping him. What did he earn to deserve that? You people tell me in the comments. I want to know what you guys feel that Mitch Marner deserved, the clapping and the cheering, and then you boo him again. Some people just don't know what to do when it comes to sports, deciding if you hate someone or you don't. It's one or the other. It's very cut and dry, okay? It's very wet and dry here, guys, okay? It's very simple. You either hate the guy or you don't. It's very, very simple here. Mitch Marner did not do what it took to win in Toronto. He was a sensitive little baby. The media didn't do anything wrong. They spoke it like it was, okay? Sure, there were some fans that maybe took it over the top, leaking his address, saying things to him, sure. But when it matters most, Mitch Marner didn't perform. And he deserved to get heckled tonight. He deserved to get booed. He's lucky that's all he got. He's very lucky. He's lucky that I wasn't there at Scotiabank Arena tonight. He's very lucky. He's lucky that his teammate Kolasar ripped that sellout jersey from that guy's head. That would have rattled him. Because that's how mentally weak Mitch Marner is as a hockey player. That guy there, I'm glad he's not on the Leafs anymore. I don't give a crap what he brought to the table, 100 points in the regular season. I don't care. Craig Simpson saying, oh, you know, the Leafs, Leaf fans are booing because they're going to miss it. Shut your bloody mouth, Craig Simpson. You're an idiot. Shut your mouth. You know, and then Sportsman on top of it all, blocking out the boos during the thing, during the tribute. Make me sick. Honestly, give us what we want. We want to see the real thing. The rawness, the liveness of fans being angry. And then I got to watch that nonsense. Women, woo, Mitch, woo. But it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. The Leafs play like a joke tonight at times in this game. The first and third were a joke. Didn't get good goaltending tonight because Stolarz hasn't played in 2.5 months. I'm not blaming him for this loss tonight. I'm blaming Craig Berube for putting him in tonight. Okay, I would have played Hildeby instead of Stoli. Play Stolies in another game. Not in this game. Not with everything that's on the line. With all the emotion and everything else. Okay, I liked how Matthews played tonight. Thought he was good. I thought his line was going to Domi and McMahon at times in this game. But again, not a good 60-minute effort. You're not getting good performances from your top dogs right now. We got important guys out right now. You got jackasses like McCabe who's not playing well. Riley's not playing well. Thank God OEL played today. Okay? We got guys that are just not performing well. Bobby McMahon, even though he scored today, a little bit inconsistent at times. I'm not giving that guy $5 million a year. Not a chance in hell. Maybe 3.5 at most. But I'm not paying that guy $5 million a year. Not a chance in hell. If that's what he wants, he can go to free agency. I don't give a crap. But I'm telling you guys right now, this was a very worrying sign to me. This was a sign to me that shows this Maple Leafs team just doesn't get up when they have to. Now, once again, that'll happen. If they even do make the playoffs, that'll happen again. That'll happen again. They will just hit another wall. Because this team here just doesn't have it mentally, guys. They're just a frustrating watch sometimes. The fan base is frustrating as well sometimes, watching certain people do what they do with Marner. It sickens me. This loss sickened me tonight. This run of games have sickened me. You know, the playoffs are dwindling now. If the Leafs do not turn it around quick enough, they have to turn it around. Because if they continue to play inconsistent like this, they will not make the playoffs, guys. And I expect massive change. But right now, it's not good enough. You've lost 3 straight at home, 3 straight in general. You have been losing some important games. And the other teams are winning games. So you cannot afford to be losing games right now. And tonight's game was another example that this team here just showed. They just haven't shown the fight and character when they have to most. And it's driving me nuts. I get there's injuries and all, but you need points. And you need them now. And you can't wait for everybody to return from injury. But guys, I am done talking about the Leafs for tonight. Just a really, really, really frustrating loss. A loss that really will burn me all season. The loss that I will despise more than anything. This loss here and the Vegas loss last week as well. Just 2 losses that will burn me inside knowing that little brat got both wins on the Maple Leafs, guys. And his teammates bailed him out. He had no points tonight. His team was really good for him. They showed out for him tonight. They played for him tonight. You saw it in the game tonight. And the Maple Leafs just won and said, yeah, you know what? It's just another game. So, just another game, right, guys? Just another game. The Leafs missed out on 2 points. We'll love to your thoughts and opinions on this game tonight, guys. Like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Leafs Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.